The movie is called Sweetwater, the nickname of the great Nat Clifton, who went from the Harlem Globetrotters to the New York Knicks, one of the first to break the color barrier in the NBA, and the man who plays Sweetwater, Everett Osborne, is here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
Rich, doing lovely. Thanks for having me.
Sweetwater, available in theaters near you next Friday, April 14th. You play, obviously, Nat Clifton and his story helping break the color barrier in the NBA way back in the day. I can't believe this story's never been told in a movie before.
You and me both. You and me both, Rich. It's crazy because the director, shout out to him, and the writer, Martin Gigi, he's had this for over 28 years. To think I was actually 2 years old when he started doing his research. I mean, he grabbed the actual Yellow Pages cold call. There was no Google. Yeah. So it's crazy that this story wasn't made at all, but it's the perfect time.
It is the perfect time. It's a great story to be told. And how did you get associated with the project of playing Nat Clifton?
A dream. I can't even strategically tell you how it happened.
Okay.
I just know as the actor, come home, have a regular self-tape script that you have to do. So I print out the paper, I read it, and I'm like, wow, it's the story of the first African-American to sign an NBA contract.
Yes.
And to change the game. So that's how my process worked. So I saw it, and initially I just went straight in, did my research, and put in a self-tape at home, which is what we usually do. And then a week and a half later, I got a call to go to Warner Brothers and do the audition in person. And also, to add to that, they wanted to see me, not just the actor, but the basketball player as well. So me and my uncle went to a gym, and I had to record me playing ball, just like Sweetwater back in that time, 1950s. Yeah. And Chuck Taylor's doing all dunks, all shots. 10 in a row was me, no cuts, no edit. So I sent that over and the acting side, and the stars just aligned.
Okay. Now, I'm going to pick this out of that fascinating story. Was it your choice to put on Chuck Taylor's, or did they tell you you needed to put on Chuck Taylor's to make this recording?
So great question.
Thank you.
To be honest, yeah, seriously, because I pretty much had like 2.5 weeks to prepare for this role.
Yes.
So no choice, every choice was informed by me for the character and the audition, because I had to show up as Sweetwater, and I knew that. I knew that the time frame was short, so everything I did was informed by me, and they loved it. The director said I walked in as I am, quote unquote, and everybody was on the same accord.
And you do have a history of playing, though, yourself, though. It's not like your first time, like, oh, let me just try and get up to speed on playing basketball.
No, I do have a history. I mean, I played professional in Australia, played Division I in Texas, grew up here in Los Angeles, California, went to high school here. So I've been playing ball my whole life.
Which high school did you go?
Palisades High School.
Okay,
shout out to Palisades Dolphins.
Shout out to Palisades.
Spent a little time at El Segundo Eagles, so shout out to them.
Well, this is your hometown.
Exactly. That's why I'm wearing the gold. You know.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, everything is strategic. Yeah, we don't play around here, man.
Understood.
Right? It has to be.
So, and where in Texas did you play?
Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
So it's McAllen, Texas. Actually, the only school that offered me at the time, and I went with it, and it was life-changing. I was the president of all student athletes there. It was a crazy experience. Okay. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it was a crazy, beautiful experience to show how basketball can change your world and environment. So I did have history, to answer your question, but it's interesting because I didn't have history playing in 1950. I didn't have history playing in the 40s and 30s. So I literally had to put my world aside and absorb a whole new world, whole new style of play, whole new understanding of life in the game to truly take on the Sweetwater role, or else I would have been shortchanging the story and him.
But for you to play the role of a guy who helped break a barrier to make your entire journey to this role possible, not just as an actor, but also to have the realistic look to your acting role, that had to blow your mind a little bit here.
Blew my mind a lot. Blew my mind a lot. It was just crazy. Didn't even know who this guy was. Like, you know, and the beautiful thing about Sweetwater was he wasn't just the first to break the color barrier as a black man, right? It's what he brought to the game that really set him apart. I mean, he was innovative. The creativity, the style, the flair. The game saw nothing like that before, right? It was very boxed in. I mean, he played for the Harlem Globetrotters before. So he brought that game, that freedom that we love watching today. He brought that to the league, and it was very disruptive, as all change is, right? So seeing what he did and seeing the greats that came after him, the Dr. J's, Elgin Baylor's, Connie Hawkins, Julius Erving's, Michael Jordan. I mean, even Michael Jordan said, you know, there's no Michael Jordan without Sweetwater. You know, so to think, like you said, this creativity that we love came from this man, and then I have the responsibility to now portray this role and to live in this truth. Was mind-blowing to answer your question, man. It was a complete honor.
Everett Osborne here on the Rich Eisen Show playing Sweetwater, and you said you hadn't heard the story And prior to you sitting down, you asked me if I had heard the story. And I said, yes, I'm from New York. And you had just heard in the green room my interview with Dan Hurley bringing up where I'm from in New York. And go ahead, say what you said to me, Everett. It's okay. Go ahead. We're in a safe space.
Okay, safe space. Okay.
Yeah, you're in a safe space.
Okay, I believe it. I believe it. All right. Well, you said you're from New York, but I thought you said Staten Island.
Oh, my God.
So I felt a disconnect. Is there a disconnect?
Oh, my man.
No, am I missing something?
My man, we just became best friends.
Yeah.
I cannot believe
So true.
my New York City credentials. Being from Staten Island, the fifth and forgotten borough of Staten Island, is being questioned by somebody who's from the Palisades here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I mean,
Not from the Palisades. Let's get this together.
But you don't like the way I just painted with a broad brush where you're from.
You know
right?
what?
You didn't like that feeling, did you?
In this moment,
Yes.
there's understanding, there's connection, there's truth.
Yes.
I embrace it. You know what? Staten Island is New York.
Yes, it is.
No, Everett, dig your feet in.
In this moment,
Take a stand.
well, listen, you have to understand, right? You know, there's multiple truths in this world. You're right. He's right. I understand. I see both sides.
The disrespect coming from the same chair where Method Man once sat when you said the same thing to him.
I did.
Mr. Staten Island himself.
Shout out to Method Man.
Yes.
We have Method Man. We have Rich Eisen.
That's true.
Like, we have greats to lean on.
That's right.
And I'm grateful.
Thank you very much.
That's my man right there.
That's greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Everett Osborne here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so let's dive in a little bit to your playing career. You said you played professionally in Australia.
In Australia.
How'd you wind up there?
Started off doing a mission trip in New Zealand. I had no offers. So to be honest, I averaged 4 points a game in college. Mm-hmm. So at Division I, you average 4 points a game. You're not good enough to go pro. No way, no how.
Right.
So I had to just dig. Woke up at 4:30 every morning. Just believed. I just knew that basketball was for me, even if there was no proof.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, stars aligned. I got offered to go on a mission trip with a team called Athletes in Action.
Sure.
We went to New Zealand for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Killed over there. I mean, I put up 30 points playing against top competition over there.
Really?
Right. Yeah. I went on a tear. Right. So then after that, I heard nothing. And I ended up training for G League teams, got put in the draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers G League team, didn't get drafted, had no agent at the time. And a week later, once I didn't get drafted, a coach from Australia called me and said, hey, I've been watching you for a year. And during that time in the summer in LA, right, I was playing the Drew League. And I just got MVP of one of the games in the Drew League where a lot of NBA players play.
Sure, of course, we know.
So I think the coach was just tracking me, following me for a whole year. So you never know who's watching you. And I was just stayed prepared, stayed ready, and I got the call. And I was ready, and I went to Australia because that was the only option I had. Australia wasn't a big league at that time like it is now. I mean, you got LaMelo Ball that came out of there. So for me during that time, it was just a risk, and it was all I had, and I went with it, and it worked out. And it's kind of interesting because watching that Sweetwater clip, I'm thinking about some similarities, how Coach Lapchick comes to him, and he's talking to him about the New York Knicks, and Sweetwater starts telling him, well, yeah, I know who's on your team. And that just shows you the preparation, the mind. He was ready for that next level, even if he didn't know there was a possible way. He was still studying. His mind, his spirit was still reaching for higher, not just wanting to have a goal, but actually preparing for that mentally. And he was able to step in that opportunity as well.
It is pretty neat. Give me the name of somebody who's the best player you've been on the court with in your, whether it's high school or collegiately, Australia.
I wish I had a twin. I'll say him.
Nice. I like it.
But the best player I've been on the court with, I mean, I spent summers training with a lot of greats, man. I spent summers playing in, with Phoenix Suns. I've never said this, but
go ahead.
I did beat Seth Curry 1-on-1.
Where was this?
And he's a great player.
You said Seth, right?
Seth, yeah,
okay.
Seth.
Okay.
Beat Seth 1-on-1. He's a great guy, great player. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best player I've been on the court with, though, it's kind of tough to say. I mean, I've been with a lot of great players from
Drop
LA.
a name. Go ahead, drop a name. Go for it. It's okay.
Let's see the best. Shout out to Devin Booker. I'll say Devin. He put up 70 plus, so I played pickup with him, and when I was training with the Phoenix Suns, so I'll say him.
Okay, 70 in the NBA, not against you on that day.
No,
Okay.
but that's why I'm gonna say him. I mean, because whoever I've been on the court with, he's probably put up the most points.
Okay.
So I would say Devin, and he's up and coming. He's still going. He's still young. So
Right.
I shout out to Devin Booker.
And so when you step on the court for the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, you must have been like, I got this. I mean, come on. DK Metcalf's going to step on my court. I understand he's an NFL, Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, get out of here, right? You had to say you've got the game for this event.
You know
right?
what's crazy about that is,
Look at you, by the way, right there. I like it.
oh, wow. That's beautiful. Actually, I think that one was, I don't know. That wasn't the dunk.
That wasn't the
We
dunk?
should have the one where we flushed it, man, in the second half. That was so beautiful.
Okay.
Ran next to Shaq, did the fist with the
you really?
with the muscle. I shook Jeremy Piven's hand as if he was Coach Lapchick because he was right on the court. It was a beautiful moment. You couldn't make it. It was so much magic that happened, man. It was like epitome of how the film was. Just a lot of magic you couldn't make up. Seriously, it was just God moments. But yeah, the All-Star game was beautiful. I mean, ended up breaking the scoring record. 23 points on MJ's birthday, 23 for 23.
Oh.
So I didn't really expect much but to have fun and play ball, but I knew that it was going to be competitive because, hey, there's Simu Liu right there. Shout out to him.
That's who you're shooting over?
Yeah. Simu Liu, yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He needs to close a little better, I think.
A little bit. I mean, but he's doing his best. You see the full arm extension?
He's doing his best.
He did his best, right? Which I knew was going to happen. I knew there was a lot of great people there and everyone's going to compete. And they said that, that was probably the most competitive game all All-Star weekend was that celebrity game. They said they've never seen a celebrity game that competitive ever. So I take pride in that.
The actual All-Star game wasn't competitive, so, that's not a very high bar. You
nah,
know what I mean?
It wasn't.
So was DK on your team? Or is
DK, I played against DK, but he was a great competitor. I mean, all-star competition, right? And what's crazy is we played at the University of Utah, and that's where I played my first game in Texas.
No way.
Our first game was at the University of Utah against the Utes, DeLon Wright, Kyle Kuzma. And it was just a full circle moment for me, man. So
look at you. And then you're there and your movie's coming out 2 months later.
Yeah.
And
can't make it up.
You
cannot
cannot
make it up, yeah.
So did you try to dunk on DK or like you had to? I'm already picking up from you. Here's what I'm picking up, Everett. I'm picking up you've got a very confident way about yourself and your abilities, certainly on a basketball court. You had to go into this game thinking if DK is going to try and be outside the circle, I don't care. I'm going to go over him. You had to say that in your head.
You're very
right?
smart, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was a thought. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that. I wanted that actually. I wanted to get a catch a body on somebody, but it didn't happen. But we still got a nice, dunk, one dribble past the 3-point line, nice flush.
Okay.
It was fun, man. It was a great environment, great team. I mean, it was so beautiful to see the basketball world, the entertainment world combined.
Yeah.
The Sweetwater trailer released that day as well. Cool. Like the NBA has been a huge partner with us with this film, and I think that it's a testament to what's going on. I mean, this is a true, authentic story. Like you said, it's been so long that we haven't heard about this story. So to have true sponsorship with the NBA and them backing it is a huge testament to, okay, this is a true, real story. And Sweetwater's family is involved as well. So his daughter, Jatan Robertson, she was on set. She was there. She's been involved. Martine has done a really good job of pretty much tying on both ends of keeping this whole thing, pretty much consistent and authentic.
That had to be some pressure. The kids on the set.
Yeah, I mean,
Dad.
it kind of was. It kind of was, but it wasn't because we were 2 weeks into filming already, and she shows up, and it was so beautiful seeing her face. She looks just like him. She's tall, like very calm, peaceful, graceful human being, and she looked at me. She's like, "Wow, you have my dad's spirit." And that was kind of crazy for me to hear during that moment, but it was beautiful because that let us know we were on the right track. That let us know that through all the 28 years of research that the script had, it was supported, it was true, it was raw. Because even from her mouth, she said, "This is something my dad would say. This is how he would be," and it was right on track. So it wasn't as much pressure, but it's actually a weight off my shoulders knowing that, okay, if anyone I care about who cares about this performance, it's them, it's their family, and at least she's okay with it.
Well, and no, so is there any pressure? That's Richard Dreyfuss, for crying out loud, sitting, acting in scenes.
I mean, it's Richard Dreyfuss. It's Kevin Pollak. It's Carrie O. It's so many greats, man. Look at them. It's so beautiful. But what's interesting is living in the world of Sweetwater, he knew during that time those people were important. So I never was in Everett world. It was always Sweetwater world. And how can we make this world? What value does this provide me? I wasn't looking at Richard Dreyfuss, Carrie O. I was okay, this is Mr. Podoloff, right? This is Ned Irish. So we just lived in that world. And the beautiful thing about those legends we just saw they've been in this game for so long. Rich.
Oh, yeah.
But they showed up every day like it was their first and last day. I promise you, I'm not just saying that. Like every day, even Richard, he's like still figuring out how to make each scene the best. What can we bring? It's just not stopping as far as reaching that level of excellence and just being present. And just awesome people, awesome servants to this industry, and I'm grateful.
Well, I appreciate you letting me into Everett World for a few minutes here,
Sure.
and you come back anytime.
Thank you, man.
You come back anytime. Congratulations on this.
I appreciate it.
So are you a Laker or a Clipper? What are you?
Well, Clippers just won.
Oh,
you trying to set me up?
Oh, no, I'm just... it's not a setup.
No,
I mean, you're from the Palisades, so I figure you're a Laker fan.
To be specific, Robertson Boulevard, Robertson Park is where I grew up since the age of 4. To be specific,
See,
if we don't know,
one
just
more
let you know.
time. Boy, you got sharp elbows in the paint. Okay, very good.
No, but I grew up watching the Lakers. The late great Kobe Bryant. I saw him do three-peat with Shaq. So I'm a Laker fan because I saw what Kobe did. I love LeBron as well. But, man, I love how Russell Westbrook plays. He's from L.A. Hard work is my guy. Norman Powell plays for them as well. Kawhi Leonard. I mean, Paul George. I've worked out with him in Santa Monica Stairs before. So, I mean, I'm connected to L.A. I'm born and raised in L.A., and it's beautiful just to be here during this time. Basketball's at an all-time high, and I'm happy to be in the middle of it.
Well, congrats on being in the middle of it through a terrific film, Sweetwater, about Nat Sweetwater Clifton, available in theaters Friday. That's next week, April 14th. The man who plays Sweetwater, Everett Osborne. Pleasure meeting you. Come back anytime you like.
Rich, I will, man. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's not Palisades' own, along with Staten Island's own here on The Rich Eisen Show. Everybody check out Everett Osborne out at Everett Osborne on both Twitter and Instagram as well. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free.